are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's already, what, like 5 p.m. your time?
Yeah, it's already dark here.
Oh my God, wow. Yeah, and I just started the day. How crazy is that?
I know. Where are you located?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah, and you?
I'm in the Netherlands.
Oh, how fun. I bet it's
Yeah,
super cold right now.
it's not great. It's like really foggy and dreary.
Oh,
It's not
wow.
great.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but I mean, it's always exciting. I love the Netherlands. It's so much fun.
I love it too. I've
It's
been
a
here
beautiful
about
country.
months.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited just personally because I love talking about this and this is like my passion. But I cannot wait to talk to you and to let us know to for you to let us know what Leaping Bunny is all about. But first, can you introduce yourself
Absolutely.
for the
So I'm
audience?
and I am the program manager of Leaping Bunny. I've been working on the program since 2010, back when we only had just a couple hundred companies on our list. We now have over 2,200 companies that we've certified. So we've grown a ton in the
Yes.
last 12 years.
Oh,
And
that's
I love meeting our companies, doing social media, certifying new companies, and just really helping consumers discover brands that are not testing on animals.
right. Right. It's so important. And um, so you started 10 years ago or 11 years, 12 now,
Almost 12.
2022, almost 12. Wow, so it has grown a lot. And can you tell us how it started, how the Leaping Bunny program started?
Sure. So the Leaping Bunny program started back in 1996, and that was an era where greenwashing was really rampant, and companies were able to make all sorts of claims about the integrity of their products without really having to back it up. And especially in the realm of cruelty free, there is no legislation in the US or Canada that is enacted that would require a company that would say they were cruelty free to actually substantiate the claim. And so companies were putting bunnies and all sorts of claims on their products without any sort of proof that they actually were cruelty free. And the term cruelty free really became a murky term. And, what did it really mean? Did it mean that the company itself wasn't doing the testing, but maybe one of their manufacturers was? Did it mean they were not testing unless it was required by law? There were lots of little gray areas around the term. And so a bunch of animal protection organizations in the US and Canada came together and created one standard. And that standard is still alive and well today, called the Corporate Standard of Compassion for Animals. And we have it on our website. And it's essentially our constitution. Companies must abide by it to be certified. And, to this day, we still have a coalition of various animal protection organizations, and we operate the Leaping Bunny program in the US and Canada.
Wow, that's incredible. And so now the Leaping Bunny, what does it entail? Is it, as you said, is it only the product that is cruelty free, or is it really like all the ingredients? Is that how you check it? Is that how you certify companies?
Yes, so we do certify by company, not by individual product type. So
Okay.
any products that would be fitting in our standard for that a company would make would all have to be certified.
Okay.
And when a company decides to get certified, they have to apply for the certification. And part of that application involves them going out and getting declarations from manufacturers and or raw material suppliers individually to sign and say that they also do not animal test. So while we certify the company, that the brand that consumers would know, they're going behind the scenes to really verify and make sure that their supply chain is cruelty free.
Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing. That's something that's really good. And I can definitely relate to what you said at the beginning, where in 1996, like there was greenwashing everywhere, and I kind of started even a little bit later than that, but I could say maybe like 2003 when I started really looking into like buying cruelty-free products. It was so hard to find something like
Oh, for
really.
sure.
I mean, first it would, or you would find something and it wouldn't work necessarily well. It was very wishy-washy, but now it's so amazing that there's this many brands that are really putting the effort to be totally cruelty-free, to be effective, to have an excellent quality. And that's why I tell people now, it's like, oh, what are you waiting for? Like, why are you using these products that are like, one, toxic for you, two, testing on animals where it's totally unnecessary. So it's like, really, you have no excuse. Right now, you really don't.
No, and honestly, I have changed over all of my household products. I've changed my entire beauty routine. And I've really found actually that these companies, the ones that we've certified, they're producing products that are as effective, if not more effective, than brands I've used previously. And
Yeah.
one story that I always like to tell is around one of my cats who she's almost 15 years old to this day. I don't know exactly her age because she was homeless when I first got her, but she was really coughing a lot and had like basically what was diagnosed as feline asthma. And I was cleaning the house and just, trying to make the floors clean and everything really sanitary for her and get rid of the dust. And I was using all these chemicals. And when I started working on the Leaping Bunny program, I switched over everything to more natural cleaners. And I realized it was like an aha moment that my cat was walking around on all of these floors that I had doused in chemicals in an
Oh,
attempt
wow.
to, clean surfaces for her. And I those chemicals actually were, I think, triggering the asthma. And
Oh,
once I switched over, like she still has some coughing bouts every now and again, but she's not on any medication for it. And my house, I now have a almost 4-year-old daughter, and so when she was a baby crawling around, I just felt so much safer with products that were more natural, but just as effective as some of the harsher cleaners, the more traditional cleaners out there. And that really was for me like a turning point that, all of these different categories of products, whether it be natural or indie or green, they to give them a chance, because this is no longer an industry that's just someone mixing, so a couple of ingredients in their bathroom sink. I mean, certainly that's how a lot of these great companies have gotten started, but this is a real thriving industry putting out extremely effective products.
yes, yes, definitely, definitely. And I felt the same way as you did when I started switching to greener products. I think for me, now that I realize I stopped getting sick. I would get sick all the freaking time. Like I would be constantly sick, and I had these allergies and stuff like that that I was never able to pinpoint like what it was. And it wasn't until I started switching all these products, like not only for my skincare, also for cleaning the house, for even washing dishes, all of that. It's so important, and really we don't talk about it enough, I don't think, about how important this is. And I think that when people or brands are putting the effort to be cruelty free, they're not only doing like, oh yeah, we're not testing on animals, but we're also using ingredients that are not going to go down the drain and eventually pollute, waterways and lakes and the sea and whatever. So I think that's something that's so important, and I like how it's all connected, because
Totally.
I
And
feel like it's,
you it's even about like packaging, because
Yes.
a lot of companies are bumping up against the fact that they're creating packaging that is in direct conflict with animals and the environment. And
Yes.
it's been really amazing to see so many companies devise really unique biodegradable packaging or easy to get refilled packaging, or the latest thing we've seen now are like toothpaste tablets,
Hmm.
where instead of these bottles that, it's real, who recycles toothpaste bottle or toothpaste tubes?
Yes.
It's pretty
Yeah.
difficult and gross. And now, I've tried tablets, and I was really surprised at
Yes.
how clean my mouth felt. And all you have to do then at the end is literally take the paper and recycle the little package of paper or the
Yes.
glass jar that it comes in.
Yeah.
And you're still getting your mouth clean. So I think, and these bigger companies that, make toothpaste, I can see them developing it now too. So a lot of times these smaller brands are almost paving the way for larger companies, and modeling
Yes.
this great behavior and ideals that these larger companies are now recognizing and implementing. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, I've seen such a great trend also towards just the packaging.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I feel like it's it's been a long time coming, but it really does show you that you vote with your dollars, and when you're buying from these smaller brands because they're doing something better for the planet, now the bigger brands are like, oh, wait a minute. So that is working. That is actually working. So I'm going to start implementing it. And even
Absolutely.
if you don't support them, good for them if they're doing something better, if they're trying to do something, because honestly they should be doing this like a long time ago, but at least now they're doing it. So I think that's very reassuring for people that we like us, that we support smaller brands because they do stuff that's better for the planet and for us. And I think that's really, for me, that's like, I do have some control, I do have some power.
Ab- Absolutely. And we see companies all the time that get feedback from consumers that change their ways.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, and again, I think it just comes to show you that the products are really effective. Like, we have come a long way. The formulations are amazing right now. I don't think I don't need anything that's not natural and non-toxic and and non-cruelty free. Like, everything I can find, and it works perfectly fine, if not better. And I feel better about myself that I'm not putting something out there that's going to damage the environment, and that it's not damaging animals, and going
Definitely.
through that
Absolutely.
horrible testing. And so, can you tell us what are some of the misconceptions about cruelty free? Like, why I tell this story, I probably will tell it in a little bit, but why is it such a misconception for some people about like cruelty free products? Are like, oh no, that's not safe because they didn't test it.
Yeah, I mean, the first and foremost, everything we completely believe in safety. Safety for animals, safety for humans. If a product isn't safe, it shouldn't be on the market. That's just
Right, right.
nowadays there really are so many ways to validate the safety of an ingredient. And at this stage, most testing is really done at the ingredient level, not
Okay.
necessarily the finished product. So you have a lot of ingredients that are already deemed safe for use, and companies certainly make use of those ingredients, and also interactions with other ingredients. A lot of that has already been studied and well documented, and companies can also, you know, um, they can use read across, and so companies can share results with other companies, and so they don't have to repeat any sort of analysis, whether that
Mhm.
be animal or non-animal. But then, there are many, many great alternatives out there to substantiate safety and efficacy of an ingredient. And the alternatives that are now available while they're not available for every ingredient, and there are lots of researchers hard at work doing amazing things, the ones that are available are cheaper and faster, and best of all, don't use animals. And they can tell much more about the safety of an ingredient than an animal test, where you're really comparing how an animal interacts with an ingredient. It's apples to oranges when you look at an animal's reaction versus a human's, because
Right.
we're not the same entities. We have different biological makeups, and the animal tests generally are less reliable now than alternatives. And
Mhm.
alternatives really go through a very strict process of getting validated and accepted by international bodies. And so when a company does make use of them, they can be certain that the results they obtain are good, that they can substantiate safety and efficacy without the need of using an animal. So, that's certainly one thing. A lot of misconceptions around getting Leaping Bunny certified are that the brand has to be vegan. We are not a vegan certifier because ingredients are required to be listed on packaging so that consumers can see that transparency. And our certification is free. So a lot of people think that it costs thousands and thousands of dollars to get certified, but in fact, to be listed on our list of cruelty-free companies, that actually is free, and their only small cost is if a company decides they want to license our logo to put on their packaging, and
Okay.
that's really just a very small cost, and it's based on a company's gross annual sales. So it certainly is a tiered
Mm.
approach.
Oh wow. Well, that's incredible. Yeah, and I think, man, I think again we've come so far. I remember going to a Sephora. It was probably around 10 years ago, and I asked about a lipstick, and I'm like, "Is this cruelty free?" And the seller was like, "No, I'm sorry." And I was like so taken aback. I was like, "Wait, what? Why did you make that face?" And so I was like, maybe he said like, "It is. I'm sorry. It is cruelty. I mean, animal tested." And so I go again and ask him like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Can you say that again? Is this cruelty free?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Why are you making that face?" And I'm like, "No, no, no." Like, "Oh, thank you. This is amazing. I want
Yeah,
this product." So I
I
was just like so confused.
it's so gratifying to be able to walk into an Ulta Beauty or a Sephora or even a Target or CVS and seeing the number of Leaping Bunny certified brands that are being stocked now. Because
Yes.
I remember when I started working for the Leaping Bunny program, the best place really was Whole Foods. That
Right.
was the go-to place for people that really wanted to purchase cruelty-free products. And now you can get them everywhere. And it's just amazing the
Yes.
progress that has been made. And even companies that maybe 10 years ago weren't cruelty free that
Hmm.
were in Sephora now are. So
Yeah.
there, you have like that aside, but then you also have this explosion of innovation and all of these new brands coming to market that from the get-go want
Yeah.
to make that commitment to being free of animal testing. And we've just seen just tremendous growth.
Yes.
It's
Yes, that's
great.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. I went to Safeway, it was I think last night, and I was just waiting for my husband get his medication or something, and I was going on the aisles and I saw on the beauty aisle that they had some natural and cruelty-free products, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I never would have thought to come to Safeway if I needed something, like an emergency, like I don't know, mascara or whatever." And I'm like,
Definitely.
"Oh wow, this is amazing. Like finally."
Yeah,
Finally, this
I
is a thing.
full makeup palettes in like regular stores that are just huge displays
Yes.
of that we've certified. So
Yeah.
And I saw a comment someone said about like price, and
Uh-huh.
that certainly can be an issue. But in working with all the different companies we've certified, you really do get a wide range of costs for products.
Yes.
And nowadays, because there are so many products available at like Walmart or CVS,
Mm.
you can find items at your price point that are still Leaping Bunny certified.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I agree. And I have seen them. And there's something also, I think it calls a lot about how much you consume. And it's like, well, you don't need all these products. If you only need maybe like a shampoo and a conditioner, just get those. Like, you don't need all this like fluff of products that they try to sell you all the time. So if you're like tight if you have a tight budget, you can really focus like, okay, what do I really need? Do I
Absolutely.
so I think that's the way I started, because when I started making this transition to a more natural conscious lifestyle, I'm like, okay, I'm a student. I'm not, like, I don't have like this endless like flow of money, so I really have to be smart about the products that I'm gonna get. And that's how I started, really. And I mean, back then it was really hard, and it was harder to find products that were affordable. But now I
Definitely.
think it's like there's a lot of products and a lot of brands that are affordable. And I know from talking to Sally, which is like one of the founders from Isabella's Clearly, they focus a lot on that. They do want to be affordable for people to be able to afford the products, because they know that it's not about just it's not about talking or being the brand for a certain group of people. They want to be for everyone. So I know that's
Totally.
something that they like to focus on, and they still like to focus on the quality, of course, but price is something that's very important for them. They want to be approachable for like a bigger group of people. So I think
Yeah,
that's something that's pretty amazing.
and items even that are a little bit more premium, a lot of times they're so concentrated that they last a lot longer.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
especially with skincare, that's something that I personally just do not uh, shortchange myself on. And,
Yeah.
it's little does really go a long way.
Hmm.
So, yeah, things have gotten more accessible, and certainly with the internet, there are tons of deals out there. A
Yes.
lot of companies offer free shipping, discounts. It's opened up a lot of doors for people, I
Yes.
think. And if you don't
Yes.
live next to a Whole Foods or an Ulta or a Sephora, you can get a lot of things now right online.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I think that's something that's very awesome. And that's something that I always talk to my friends and followers about. It's like, you guys just explore. There's so many brands out there now. I think there's been a boom of like just brands wanting to make their own products because they couldn't find something that called their name exactly, so they made their own. It's like you'll find something for you. Like, even if I'm sharing something that might not work for you, there's a brand out there for you. So that's something that
Definitely.
I really like, that now we have like all these options.
There's
And
something for everyone. Serious.
yes,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And so, just to finish off, because I could talk about this every like until like 10 at night, but I know you have to go. But how can we know if a brand is Leaping Bunny certified? Where can we find it? Or if they don't have the logo, how do we do that?
So the best place right now is actually our website. We have a list on our website. It is updated daily in real
Okay.
time. And so
Wow.
my two colleagues are hard at work all day working with companies that are recommitting, getting certified, at changing information. So that really is your best bet right now. We
Okay.
are in the final stages of developing a brand new cruelty free app that will be available
Mm.
for iPhones and Androids for free. And that will be like a mirror of our website. And so everything that's up to date, on our website is going to show up on our app. And so people will be able to look up companies when they're out and about. They'll be
Yes.
able to use a scanner to look at a barcode and see if that brand is certified. And we hope to have this done in the next few weeks. So those are
Oh,
the website's at right now, but that app is going to be coming out very soon. We're in beta testing right now for it.
oh, I think that's because yeah, as
Yeah,
as we said, I think there's still some people that are really they get convinced about a brand that might be natural and cruelty free because they have like a leaf or they have the word green in there or something. So I know it's something that yeah, it's still a little bit of a hard work for people that are not that don't have the time to really investigate and do the research. So that's going to be very useful for them.
definitely.
Definitely. Amazing. Oh, well, Kim, thank you so much. I could talk
Oh,
to you for hours. It was so much fun. I love this conversation.
I love doing this. Thank you for asking all the
Yes.
questions. And, thank you also for your commitment to Leaping Bunny and for maintaining, a company that's free of animal testing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Honestly, that's why I love Isabella's clearly, and that's why I started working with them before. Because before I used to only share about the products on my own website and my own blog. But now when they invited me in to work with them, I was like, yes, I love the company and I love the passion that you put behind the ingredients and the products and just yeah, really focusing on being cruelty free. That's something that's a non-negotiable for me basically. So it's I know it's something that Sally really works hard for, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Great. Well, it was a
Amazing.
pleasure. Thank you for asking
Yeah.
me to
Yeah.
spend time with. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, thank you so much. It was so insightful and I mean I had a blast.
I did too. I
Thank
wish you a
you.
great day. Start dinner now.
Thank you. Yes. Have a great evening.
All right.
Thank you so
Take care.
much. Bye,
All right.
Julie.
Bye bye.
Bye.